All right, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and just another fun-filled day. That's usually the way it rolls. Lots of strange stories as usual in the political side, and it just drives us all crazy, but it is what it is. So let's see what's going on with Mr. and Mrs. Dollar. You can see it here, trying to take out the highs of yesterday and challenging the highs of July. So same situation. Let's see if we make it bigger on J4X. There it is. Same situation there. We see it banging up. And remember, these are hinky ashky, so they're kind of like a average. So the average might be a little less. It's hard to tell. It's a two times the open, high, low, and close. So right now you can see just physically. Let's just show you physically again. There it is physically. You can see it has reached beyond, and on the average, it's a 1 day average. So it takes hours for it to catch up. So in other words, it's not wrong. It just hasn't caught up yet, and that's why we always say that it has about a 68% accuracy rate to our work, which is a lot better than I can name dozens of things that they tell you that are better than our work. Not my work, what we have up on J4X. So in other words, MACDs and moving averages and a slow stochastic or a fast stochastic is even considered worse. But when we show you using the two together as one, it's way more accurate than all these other public indicators that they have. The 50-day moving average, or the 200-day moving average, or the 18-bar moving average. You take a choice. Either way, what I have up here on J4X is much more accurate than any of the other public stuff. And then when showing you the most accurate information I've ever been able to find, just happens to be mine. That's what it comes down to. And believe me, I've looked at Euler. I've known Bob Prechter and John Bollinger and talked to them about this stuff, but never have I divulged my mathematics. So, I've been around. A friend of mine was president of the Market Technicians Association for decades. We traded on the floor together, and so as far as I can tell, I'm ahead of the curve, and that's from their mouth, not mine. So there we go. You can see dollar is trying to press its way up again. And I guess that means that the interest rates here in the States are going to, go up stronger than other places when thinking about the fundamentals. Unfortunately, fundamentals have become somewhat of a swamp, I guess you could say. It's very deep in the bush. So in the end result is that the pressure is up. What do we got there? We've got, hey, Stefan, how you doing? What does your algorithm say about Euro Swiss? Let's go check it out. I'm not even going to finish the rest of that sentence. I get excited right off. I'm excited. Euro Swiss. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see. There's Euro Cable, Euro Turkish Lira, Euro AUD, Euro Yen, and right underneath Euro Yen is Euro Swiss. Let's see the last time we've tuned into this. Wow. That's interesting, isn't it? Let's make this a little bit bigger, like so you can see it. Last time someone asked us about it was all the way back in July. So you can see here, it went into the weekly sell. Can you see that right there? It went into the weekly sell there in the 104 area. Or 105 area? I don't know. 105s to 104s. How's that? And then it went into a daily sell, and it was a wonderful little ride. You can see it down here, all the way to this point where it was a buy for a day. Oh, I kind of do remember this now. And then that long drag out again, and then a little bounce again and again. And it's funny, you've come in here to ask right at the change of the corner. So I hope you're using the J4X as, let's put it up on J4X too. That gave you a chance to be ahead of the curve, as I always say. If you, you use J4X to take a look at things. There's the daily. Let's see what the weekly looks like there. I would think it's green for a week or so. Let's see. Remember, it's a full average, so it's calculating it now. Let's see how it comes out. But it's interesting. taken a peek and asked us what's going on. Yep. Oh, it's this week too. So you probably saw that on your J4X. Smart. Very smart. That's exactly what I've been saying to everybody. Now let's read the rest of what you had to say. It went down for a long time, but it's been up for a few days now. Do you think the way down will be started again? Good question. Hey, Robin. Metho. Jordan. How you doing, guys, gals, and as they say, whatever. Traders. Hello, traders. How's that? There's no gender thing there. Looking at this, what's interesting is look at that daily buy. Was it there that started it? What is that? That's plot 1 is 0. So the daily buy started here. And that's a pretty good move, 96 to almost 98. Is that right? Yeah, it's a 98. That's a pretty good move right there alone, isn't it? Last time we had something like that was this one right there. But we were in the weekly sell. But as you can see here on, both J4X and Chicago Quant, matter of fact, Chicago Quant is really ripping through. Both the blue echo, as I like to call it, the echo, and the green and the histogram are rocking. And when that happens, you can see some strength. So I'd say it's already taken 2 handles north. It's probably got more to go. Maybe it's going to go to the 90, what's that, 98, then it goes to par. It could go up to 99 and change before taking a breath. That's what it looks like to me. Now, what is that? That's Swiss, right? And that's Euro. So Euro is weaker? Oh, that's Euro. Euro is stronger against the Swiss. I see. Yeah, the pressure's on. Well, I think when we go over and look at Swiss, let's look at the other two independently, with the dollar itself. You can see here, not much action. It's stronger against the dollar. You can see that. Today it's working down. And then let's go look at the Swiss against the dollar. Right there. And you can see that's not taking a breath whatsoever. So it's obviously the Euro being stronger against the Swiss. And it does look like that's the trend to be. It does look like it. And it looks like they'll probably try to take this thing up into the 98s. So, my community guidelines. Oh, okay. I never noticed that one before. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Okay. So that means I can't say anything I normally say, or what? Anyhow. I would say that's the recipe there. Let's go back down to it again. Euro Swiss right there. So that's kind of interesting. It's looking pretty strong. Now it's gotten high like this one has. The white line there, which is really the green line. We should make that green. I'm not sure why it's white. Matter of fact, it's supposed to be, the black should be the histogram and the green should be sometime. I forget what was the logic behind some of these things that get changed in color. I think people said they had a hard time reading it. I think that's the way it's supposed to be there. There. And now that's back to norm. Okay, there we go. So you can see here, it's taken out this high right here, right now. And it tried to do it there and then failed, fell down, or at least sideways and then down. Did the same thing there. Did the same thing there. You can see, didn't get as high here and broke down. Same thing here. Let's see how this acts. We'll take a look at it each day now. Keep an eye on it. Also, follow it through J4X, during the trading day itself. That'll help you out also at the same time. I hope that answered your question. Geez, I get excited when someone gives me a question right from the beginning. Oh, my God. I love it. Please, may I have more? Okay. From there, we go back to, we were looking at the dollar, and might as well just skip by that. And we've seen the euro right there. You can see it's feeling a little pressure there today against the dollar. And I guess that's that interest rate factor, as we just said. You see it on J4X, a couple greens, just like we see over here on Chicago Quant, 3 days of green, and the pressure is on there. The pressure is on the upside. We'll see if it tries to roll over. Then we go back to, we'll come back to the Swiss in a little bit. Let's go over to the cable, and there's the cable riding the bottom. As Mr. Obama's minister used to say, riding dirty down. There we go. Reverend Wright. And then you can see here, there's the pressure there. You can see the weekly been pressured now since this area here. So cable is having its issues. I'll tell you, I saw something today, blew my mind. It just happens to fit in with England, Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And someone over in, I guess, the Republic of Ireland, the South, showed a electric bill for 73 days from I guess it was all of July, all of August, and part of June. So I think it started off as it was 73 days. So it was like mid-June to like a couple days ago. Over 10,000 euros for electric. It was a restaurant. It is 250 times more than what it normally is. So I guess what's that, $25 a month or something like that? It was 10,000 euros. It was like 10,100 and something euros. So, I mean, wow. What can you say about that? I keep on hearing that England and Europe and everybody's getting beat up, and we hear about it, and we know about it, but wow. That's when you see a electric bill look like that, you go, holy moly. How do you deal with that? I mean, that's, they said it was 250. Matter of fact, let me see if I can show you the article. It's that insane. So, looking at the cable and seeing the way the cable's dropping, that does not surprise me much. When that's economics. That's fundamentals. Oh God, it's the lead now. It is literally the lead story. People are probably just picking up on it. There it is. How in the name of God shocked Europeans post astronomical energy bills as a terrifying winter approaches. One such, I'll highlight it right there. One such owner is Geraldine Delone, and her Poppy Fields Cafe in Athlone, Ireland, was charged nearly $10,000 pounds, or $10,021. That's what it was. 2 months of energy usage. And then let's see, there it is right there. I wish it showed last month's bill. I don't know what last month's bill was. Do they have a last month's bill? Let me see if I can find the numbers again. I mean, talk about insanity. Wow, just wow. Let's see, I think they said it was 250 times more than the time before. September, okay. Previous one was, trying to find the previous bill. It said, oh, here it is. Around 1,000. 80%. So, almost, it was around $1,000 for her restaurant. Now it's $10,000 for the same time period. So it's 10 times. That's just, just if we don't have growth, then we don't, economies don't go anywhere. People starve. No innovation. So that's the cable. No wonder the cable's having its issues. When's the last time we even seen a cable down around this area? It's been a while. You can see that. Let's take a look at it over on J4X. We're going to blow it up the whole screen. There it is right there. When's the last time we saw a cable down that low? Not since the Brexit craze, Back in, is that 2018? No, 2019. So 3 years ago. Slam and then boom. Wow. That's something. What a punishment, What a punishment. What application? No, there we go. So that's the dilemma, Hey, Metho, the Earth is getting warmer. No, it's not. It's at 100-year lows in temperature. We don't need a heater. Correct. We don't need a heater. You're right. I agree. I read this morning that 1/3 of Pakistan is underwater from the floods, and I understand that Africa, on average, is 12 degrees below average for the year in temperature, and in Europe is something like 6 or 7 degrees above average for this summer. So I mean, what can you say? Earth is destroying the whole solar system. All right. So from there, from the cable, we slide over to the Turkish lira. See what's going on there. There, right there, right there, right there, right there. And there's Euro Turkish lira right there. And I imagine just because it was dollar index, you can see it there, it's being strong. And a bigger question is, what is the... Let's see what it's doing with the dollar Turkish lira. Right there. And I use NASA data for everything. NASA data says that the 100-year cycle average is below normal, not above. Right there. There we are. And it seems like it's parked here on the 8th. Oh, it got that 20 today. Was 20 yesterday? 20 yesterday, too. And the day before was 19, almost 20. So the dollar Turkish lira is parked there. I mean, it just parked itself up above the 18. I don't know what Turkey's doing to defend it, or I don't know anything anymore about them. They had a great policy. I guess they walked away from it. I thought it was a fantastic policy, giving free puts, options out to people who got long Turkish lira. I thought that was brilliant. That's one way to keep money in your country. Give them a free put. It's like what the Federal Reserve does every night. You see, Germany is hot and dry. It's like holidays in Italy. Cool. You don't have to travel. Save that fuel. I saw where a German minister today wants to put a tax on meat, or raise the tax on meat, something like that. He's part of the Green Party that wants to do it. I've never seen such confusion in science. There is no such thing as renewable energy. It's against Newton's laws and the rest of them. But no one seems to speak up about it. I don't understand. You can't find a physics book to match what the environmentalists are talking about. But it does sound good in the news. It sounds very euphoric. Renewable energies. I like that. If we had capabilities of renewable energies, we'd be traveling the stars by now. Or we'd have ships going out into other solar systems. Wish we had that power to have renewable energies. All right, from there, let's take a... Yeah, we did look at that. No, let's take a look at the Euro Turkish lira on Chicago Quant. There it is right there, matching up with J4X. You see that there. Trying to lift up. Now, it's not taking out the highs, and what's fascinating is we saw just a few moments ago that 1820 is the price of a dollar Turkish lira, and 1820 is the price of a euro Turkish lira. So they're discounting the dollar one dramatically? I guess you could say that, right? Because last time we saw the dollar one, no, it's the other way around. They're discounting the euro. So the euro should be much higher. It should be like, 20, 21, something like that. It should be around 21 where the norm would be. Almost, it's usually like 2 3/4, 3 difference between the euro Turkish lira and the dollar Turkish lira. So that's making it a little interesting there to see what they're trying to do. All right, from there we drift over to... Where do we drift over to? We go over to the Canadian. Oh, Canada. Mm-hmm. All right, now Canada has where are we at there? You can see that it's doing the same as the Swiss. It's losing against the dollar and moving up. Obviously, we interpret that as oil going down in value. So we're going to throw oil up on J4X for a second, so we can have the two of them showing you what's going on. Right there, there's the oil, and then you see there, it's oil is heading south. That's for sure. And just a quick look at it on Chicago. There it is. 2 days in a sell. So the pressure's been on. It's gone from the 95 down to the 88.27 low, trading at 89 and a half, almost 90. Okay. And so the pressure's on. I've noticed that the weekly is not backing off as much. Whereas what's interesting, check this out. One of the back months I thought it was kind of interesting. Was it November? Yeah, I think it's November. November is actually flirting with the weekly sell. I find that interesting. Not sure what that's all. Let's see. We're looking at October now. And so it's just the next month. Now this is what makes it interesting. Is the December. There's December. And it's holding up. It's holding up. It's curious. Has me definitely curious. Not sure what interpretation that's trying to tell us, but there's some pressure on the next month, and I don't know why. They're just maybe they're pairs trading it, spreading it. So what is that trading at? 89.05, and the front is trading at 89 and a half. It's 50 cents. I think we looked at it. Wasn't it 70 cents? So it's kind of like losing its premium, right? So the front month is getting closer to the back months. That contango is disappearing altogether. Stefan says, do you ever look at market sentiment? I do. One of the only things we used to pay attention to is when it got extreme in one direction or the other, it's usually a flip. So like right now, 71% positions long, 29% positions short. Yeah, that's definitely bearish. That is really bearish. Robin has a saying, he used to refer to it as too many fish in the net. So you have to let some out. And see, positions short in Euro Swiss. Wow. So they think that the Euro is going to go down. And they think the Swiss is going to go up? No, I guess not. If they're bullish on the Euro, right? Yeah. And they're bearish on the Swiss? I guess that's what it is, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'd imagine it's trying to top out. I usually wait for my math to confirm something like that. I just don't blindly go with. We used to look at option sentiment like that. There's an older gentleman, Chris Cadbury. I don't know if Chris is still alive. I used to trade with him down on the Amex back in the 90s, and I know that he had a service going into the turn of the century, and it was about the sentiment of open interest. So that makes sense, and I would say that it's pushing hard. Now you have to remember, when I paid attention to market sentiment, it wasn't influenced by the Federal Reserve. Remember, central banks weren't the buyer of last resort. There were market makers and specialists and institutions, funds. They were the more influence on the marketplace. And the Fed would influence the marketplace like every 3 months, not every 3 minutes. Now the Federal Reserve is involved every day, and so is all the central banks every day. They're deeply involved in the marketplace all the time. So that's what quantitative easing is all about, and that's what QT, quantitative tightening, is all about. Is them coming into the markets and buying or selling each day. That's why they have 9 or close to 10 trillion in a portfolio right now in the United States. The Federal Reserve does. It's gone from like 400 and some odd billion to almost $10 trillion. So that's their portfolio. They call it their, what do they call it? They call it the balance sheet, or they call it the balance sheet, like in accounting. But what it is, it's a portfolio. So in other words, when they had it before, usually they owned, when they had 400 billion in the balance sheet, it was bonds. Okay, it was 99.9% bonds. Now the balance sheet has all kinds of things in it. It has corporate bonds, and I'm talking about government bonds, where they're doing what do they call it? What they call it? Repos. Repos, and what they would do is they would go in with their portfolio and buy government bonds when they wanted to put cash into the system. So they would buy the bonds from the bond holders and the banks, basically, and then when they wanted to take money out of the system, cash out of the system, they would that's what they would do. They would sell the bonds and force them to be bought, because they would drive it down, and investors had to invest, because of shifts in value. So a dollar cost averaging, and manifestos of incorporations, things like that, of their funds. So that was the only thing they did. Now they own corporate bonds, they own stocks, they have Citibank, they have lots of different banks and companies' stock they have in there to keep things what they call stable. So hence why they refuse to allow an audit of the balance sheet now. So you can't see what's in the balance sheet, whereas before you could see how many government bonds they had. Short term, people paid attention to that, just like open interest. They would look at the short term, if they held 90-day T-bills versus, say, 10 or 30-year bonds. That they would be like an idea or an interpretation of how the government was functioning. So that's the name of the game there. So where are we at now? I guess what it comes down to is we'll keep on marching. But yeah, that open interest thing is definitely something to think about and watch. If we get into a sell, we can go back to that real quick right now. Is that it right there? No, that's dollar CAD. So in other words, the Euro Swiss, we see that thing get on into a daily sell. Maybe what we'll do is we'll watch that, put it part of the list of things to pay attention to for the next couple of days. This way, if Stefan doesn't have a chance to tune in, they can see it on the what do you call it? The replay. So you can see here, it's pressuring its way up, and it's not letting go. And there's the weekly right there. So, matter of fact, we should do this. Isn't that amazing? I'm glad you tuned in just as that thing is changing direction. There we go. Let's do a file save. I'll just put the daily buy in there too. There we go. We can take some of these back months, steal it. There's the sell again right there. And steal another one. The buy right there. And then let's grab that one too. Oh, the reds we won't steal anymore. Right there. And then let's see if there's a green out there I can grab. There's a green. Right there. Oop, move over one. And that's it. That's the magic of it all. So we'll keep that spread out so you can see it closer like that. And we're going to put the title of it in there too, so you know what it is. So it's Euro CHF. There we are. And done. That's now you know how some things end up laying on the charts. I do that for someone that asks a question, and if no one says remove it, then I don't remove it. I just leave it in there. Let's do this. Save. That's how Bollinger Bands are sitting on, I think, the British pound pairs trade, the cable trade, something like that. There we are. All right. From there, we drift over to, where do we go to there? From there, we go to, from there we go over to the South African Rand. And there is the South African Rand. And there it goes there. You can see the South African Rand is moving up. And we have to assume automatically that the gold, and we'll go over to J4X and put it up there too. Gold is moving down. Yep, see that? Pressure is on. We'll go over to Chicago Quant and take a peeky at that there, and it's doing the same thing. It's been in this cell for a while now, since the 18 area up in here. And this week it's finally joining in. It got very close on Friday. Look at that. It was at 0.24. Just 24 cents. That was it. Wow, huh? Wow. And the pressure has been on the daily for weeks now. 3 weeks since basically July, the middle of July. No, middle of August. I'm sorry, middle of August. Then from there, we slide over to the yen. See what the yen is up to. As you can see right there, yen is banging up against the top of the range, something like a 27-year high. It's still in a buy, and it went into the weekly buy last week, and that's why we're seeing that strength in there. And then let's see what it looks like over here, over there. The Yanks are coming. Let's see. Let's put it up on J4X. There it is right there. So you see the pressure everywhere when it is, it's all getting pushed up and away. Then we zip over to the south of our border. Let's check that out. The south of our border. Mexican peso, right there. And you can see the peso is bouncing back up to the what's that, the 0.23. It didn't touch the bottom of the range like it did a couple of weeks ago. Just close. And look at this. The echo is really starting to kick in here in the middle of the week. Let's see, it's touched, and the green line's going through, it looks like, almost the time manifold itself. So 4 is minus 0, is that 0.851, it just changed. And the time manifold is 3, it's at 0.864. So green line still just underneath it by a few thousandths of a tick. So Mexican peso, like I said, it's trying to turn back up, I guess, off of the low, and maybe it'll go back to the 50 percentile right there. It's going to be, it's, again, we got the inflation thing going on all the time, so it's a real challenge on what that's all about. All right, from there we go into the metals complex, unless someone wants to see something in the other currencies. Oop. See, okay. And then there So let's go to, where is it at? Let's go to right there. There it is. Let's take a look at silver. We've seen gold moving down, and silver, oof. Frustration. Poor silver. We've been in a daily sell for four days, and it's dropped from 19 and change to below 18. It's going down over $1, and we've been in that weekly. We've been below the weekly number all week long. It's like, oh man, why can't this thing get going? Didn't anybody tell it has inflation? And it's been, just pressure. They cannot get this. You've got, when you really look at that open interest thing and you look at the, longs versus shorts, you really got to scratch your head. It's like disregard. It's like, there's a movie. There's an old 1939 movie. It's called The Wizard of Oz. It's the very first colored, where you make a film in color. Movies were black and white, and they started off in black and white, and then in the first like 5 or 10 minutes, when the dramatic moment happens from the tornado, and what's her name, the young girl in it lands in Oz. It's called The Wizard of Oz. It's in color, and no one has ever seen color movies before. Well, it's almost the same way nowadays. It's like fundamentals just don't exist anymore. It's like everything's been moved back to black and white. It's like they've taken color out of everything. So in other words, inflation is color. Interest rates are color. Supply and demand is color. These are all shades of something going on. And numbers are color. But if you only have like the binary way of looking at things, plus minus or black white, then you've lost it. It's something. J.P. Morgan went silver down. Oh, I guess they're getting it then. And why did they want it down? Did they say? See, I think Federal Reserve wants silver and gold down. I think the central banks across the planet want silver and gold down. But they could be using J.P. Morgan Chase as a vehicle to do it, giving them money overnight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. I've talked about it here, Citadel and so forth, all these, hedge funds and banks get free money every night. Every night they get free money, and our media hides that every day. Every night they get the free money, and our financial media hides it every day. What a crazy world, It's so weird. So we live in a black and white world, or a binary world of plus and minuses, and that's it. Take your choice, whichever way you want to describe it. It's still wrong. Life is full of color. All right. From there, we go to copper. We showed you that big story yesterday about the copper market and their problems, and that's where we really are at the moment too. They have a lot of issues and a lot of problems with this stuff. So, it's I don't know how else to describe it. So, what else we got going on here? Let's jump over to platinum. Platinum has been the one that leads us all the time in the metals complex. So let's see what platinum is doing this week. And platinum is below the weekly number. It was weeks ahead in the weekly buy. The echo was screaming at us. The green line was screaming at us. And now you have both of them doing the opposite. So the pressure's on again. And I guess I really think that in my mind, I think we're going to see a better metals market going into October, November. I really do. I think the last quarter is going to be a better market. So, it's the classic. take it down to take it up. And so what they need to do is they can't allow it to start at, say, 26 or 27. It's got to start from 17 or 18, that type of thing. Same thing with gold. They don't want gold to start going up at 21 or 2200. They want it to start going up from, say, 1750 or something like that, or 1700. So it doesn't have much influence for the year. And so that's what I see going on, is that they're taking it down so they can take it up. And you can see that the buyers did come in because they think it is going to go up, and inflation should have an influence, and so forth and so on. But as you can see, the pressure is on all the four metals that we watch. And look at copper too. Copper's still holding in that weekly buy. That's interesting. It's going to be a real brawl to the end of the day. And then maybe next week it'll be just right in the sell and join in with their daily sell, and next thing you know, we'll go on some type of little magical flow back down to the 3 even area. And then from there, where do we go from there? We go to let's go over to we've done metals. Let's do the energies. So let's take a look at, wow, we talked about that energy situation in Europe. It's like, ouch. Ouch, ouch, and ouch. So there is, let's see, Brent. There's Brent trading at 96 and change. You can see here, we can see front month trading at, where's that at? 90. Oh, it's $9. Is it $90? It's $90 now. I don't know why that chart. What's that right there? 90.35. I don't know why it's not above there. I guess it's the way they have it laid out. But it's at it's trading at 90.39. So, and the chart says it's at 90.33. I'm not sure what's up with these numbers over here. What else can we say about that? That's the pressure we see. It's in that daily sell though, but it's holding the weekly as we speak. And then let's go take a look at nat gas right there. U.S. natural gas has come down below $9. Let's hope it's at the low 28s for Europe. Right there. Yeah! Look at that. 27.55. Wow, that's great. Keep on hitting it down, guys. Keep on hitting it down. I guess demand is gone, or I don't know, something like that. So, that's kind of like really, situation like that is really starting to, just look uglier and uglier and uglier. So from, what is that? I think I have to pick this one up. Hold on a second. Let me pick this up. It's down at the farm. Something must be going on. How many dead? Okay. I'll be right down. Uh-oh, we're having problems down at the farm, traders. A dead chicken. A bunch of them terrified. Bank for International Settlements. What's that? What's the Bank of International? I mean, I know of it, but what about it? We're having some problems down at the farm. I'm going to have to cut out 10 minutes earlier than normal. But let's finish that off. Bank of International Settlements. You think basically what you're saying is that that's where you're watching the metals market through that, or the energy? Are you saying that the energies are down? Once gold down, yeah. I'm thinking, I really do. I think they're taking the gold down, like I said before. I think gold and silver are going down so that they can take it up. And I think that the end of the fourth quarter, I think there's going to be buying. That's what I think. And that makes sense to me. So that would make sense that they would take it down to take it up. And in the case, in other words, when you say, oh, they're trying to take it down, yeah, I agree with you. You know, I mean, that's what they're doing. They're trying to take it down. Traders, I got to get out of here. I know I only did 46 or 47 minutes, but I got to get out of here. Something about some chickens being attacked by a what do they call it? A raccoon. So I have to run down to the farm, dump and buy. Yeah, that's what they do. They what they normally do is they try to take things down to take them up. And if I'm right about the market getting firmer in the last quarter, going into the beginning of the new year, they're going to take it down so it starts from a lower point, and that would make sense. All right, traders, we're out of here. I'll put a title together in a few minutes after I get back from seeing what animals are killed or what chickens are killed. This is Doc from North America. Happy to hump day, and we will see you tomorrow, same time, same channel, and hopefully no chickens will be injured by then. All right, this is Doc saying happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, later.